Hello knitters, Barbara Benson here. I am an independent knitwear designer who also likes to make videos here on my YouTube channel, Watch Barbara Knit. Make sure to check in the description below where you will find information including how to get my patterns to knit up for yourself, how to join the Watch Barbara Knit Facebook group, and how to support me on Patreon. You can see things are I'm up in this box, things are a little different today because I decided to use my charting software to answer a question that I've been trying to figure out how to answer. It's a question that comes up not terribly frequently, but frequently enough that I've been trying to figure out how to effectively answer it. And the question is, knitters who see a pattern, a shawl pattern most of the time, and they're like, ooh, I love the way this pattern looks, but it's a crescent shape and I want a triangle. Or I love the way this one looks, but it's an asymmetrical triangle and I don't like asymmetrical triangles. I want a regular triangle. Essentially, it's I like this shawl, but I don't like its shape. How do I change it? And I know that these people want a fast and easy way for me to just say, oh, you just do this and it'll be fine. And that's not the answer. It's hard. And what I'm hoping this video will help you understand is it is possible. You can take your pattern and modify it, but what you are essentially doing or asking the designer do is completely redesign the shawl. Because fitting what you like about a shawl is probably the motifs, the lace, the cables, the patterns, the stitch patterns that the designer has chosen to put together in specific combinations. And a huge chunk of designing, especially shawls, and this is from my point of view, is fitting those stitch patterns into the increase structure of the shawl. And the increased structure of the shawl is what determines its shape. And they're different from shawl to shawl to shawl. So how you fit the different motifs into different shawls is different. So I'm using this charting software and I thought this might be a way for me to visually help or let people understand how it is possible to do it, but all that goes into it. Now, if you're one of those people who's like, I don't read charts, you don't have to read charts. I'm using it as a visual illustration so you can see, hopefully, visually what I'm talking about. So this is my charting software. It is Envision Knit. This is how I design shawls and scarves, and everything I design is usually in the software itself because it just helps me visualize. Now, what we have here is a crescent shaped shawl. This is the chart that I use when I do a crescent shaped shawl. The crescent shape that I use is a top down and it is defined by you increase 6 stitches every 2 rows. How those stitches are distributed is essential. And what that is on the right side, you'll have 2 stitches increased on one edge and 2 stitches increased on the other edge. And then on the wrong side, you have 1 stitch increased on one edge and 1 stitch increased on the other edge. These being positioned at the edge is what creates the crescent shape. You can play with their placement a bit, but if you move them too close to the center, you're going to start getting something that's much more triangular because it's going to grow down that center spine. And you can see here, this is a 2-stitch increase, knit, yarn over, knit, and this is my yarn over. And you can see how the stitches build out. Now, this right here, let me get my magnifying glass. This is our motif. This is just one I randomly made up. I don't even know what it would look like if you knit it. And what it is this motif is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stitches wide and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches tall. What that means is that over, not 6 stitches, 6 rows tall. Over those 6 rows, we're going to grow 6 12, 18 stitches. And those 18 stitches will be distributed 9 on this side and 9 on this side. This stitch motif will fit very neatly into a crescent shaped shawl. And the way I can show you that, okay, I'm going up here. I know I'm behind my picture, but it's the easiest way to show you things and that block the least important information. So I'm going to select, this is my border. This is my repeat. This is the designating how big. This is the 9 by 6 square. So I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it. So this is the space that my motif occupies, and this is what we're going to be looking at. So I put it here, and then as you can see, if I put it right here, it snugs right in because we have added exactly 9 stitches on this side and 9 stitches on this side, so it fits our new motif. If I wanted to continue doing this, you can see that I've added enough, so every 6 rows you have enough to add 2 more motifs growing out on the sides to make our crescent. You will also note we have a big empty space right here, and this is another part of designing, because to make it look nice, let's zoom in a little. Oh, wrong zoom. I'm going the wrong way. So I'm going to scroll down here. I'm going to go back up underneath my picture and get my basic stitches. So we have this empty space. We don't want this empty space. We want our pattern to go out to the edge. So what we have to do is get our imaginary right here over to here. So this, let's copy this. Okay, so that matches up. We still have one more, so we have here, but I can't go down into here because this is over here. So I'm going to take this column and put it over here. Now, the next column would be this. And if I put this yarn over right here, then I don't have room for its decrease. These two have to stay together. And if I do that, you see it encroaches on my shaping increase. So that can't be copied. So then this is definitely gone. So my next thing we're going to do is this bit here. I have to leave one space, and there we go. And that just fits in. Now, here I have a decision to make, because this would be knit, yarn over, knit directly into a yarn over. And you know what? I don't particularly care for that. I think it's a little squished. I don't necessarily. I might, when I'm knitting this up, try it both ways. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually remove this yarn over, and then I don't need a double decrease, so I'm going to remove that, and I'm going to just add a single decrease there. So instead of having this double decrease with 2, I'm going to have this, and then there's a little breathing room between this increase and the yarn overs. So I like that better. That is just a personal choice. Now, this section I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste, but oops, it's the wrong way. Luckily in this software, I can go up here and select horizontal flip, and it makes it work for me. How fun is that? And then I know I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. So I'm just gonna grab this guy, copy him and paste him over. And so there we go. So now, when I paste my motif inside my boxes, we have built up, and it will grow and turn into the next. See how this is directly under here? This decrease is directly under here, so it'll grow and evolve into the next motif. Okay, let's zoom to fit. So we can see I could take, so then I can take this, copy it, and paste it here. And I know that this pattern is going to continue, and this pattern will fit And when you're knitting it, you'll just, these are your repeats. Now what I know here is this right here is my repeat. So it's these 6 rows, and this would be row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, row 6, and then you can repeat rows 1 through 6 forever until the shawl is as big as you want it to do. Now, this is if there's only one motif in the shawl. If there are multiple motifs in the shawl, you have to redo this for every single section to see how it fits, and you have to design it, and it might not be a 6x9, and get into all of this lowest common denominator stuff. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of math. So now here is where we get into the fun. I'm going to take that out. I'm going to copy. Here we go. See, this is my box, right? So now say you wanted this not to be a crescent. You want it to be a triangle. Well, I know that this is my motif. I'm going to go, this is what I use to chart a top-down triangle, okay? And what you have to think about is that a top-down triangle is actually 2 triangles stuck together with a center spine. So this is one triangle as it grows, and this is the other triangle. This is the center spine. All this dead space, there are no stitches. You have to do it so you can line things up. This is how it works for me. So I'm going to bring my motif in. And so the first thing, okay, now we're converting. The first thing I got to do is go, okay, where does my motif snug in? So right there, that's where it fits. I'm going to go back to my crescent, copy and paste the motif itself, and stick it right there. There we go. That is my new motif. Okay, so one thing I know I need to do is to get it started right. I'm going to put that down there. That is the first modification. I know that it has to go down there. And then we are building up. So let's get my border back. Okay, I've stacked this up. Not enough. Let's stack it up again. Still not enough. Stack it up again. Still not enough. So what you are seeing is this does not fit neatly in the triangle because the way that a top-down triangle works is it increases by 4 stitches every right side row and 0 stitches every wrong side row. And then where your increases are located, you have 1 on the edge, 2 in the middle, 1 on the other edge, right? And the other thing is, since you're building out, it is increasing, when you're looking at your triangles, it's increasing by 1 stitch every 2 rows on this side and 1 stitch every 2 rows on that side. So we're just getting, so we need to build out to our 9 stitches. So we've got, on this, so we've got, we started here, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it did fit, okay? I missaw it. There we go. So it fit at 3 repeats, okay? And you can see here, let's see how many stitches. We've got that and that. So this is where it would be. So instead of it being a 6-row repeat, it is going to be a 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3. It's a 24 row repeat. That's a lot of, well, actually, no. Let's do some better math. See, math, this is why I do it this way. It's lots of math. So our repeat is going to be this bit. So nope. because we need this bottom. Nope, that's going to fit in there. Huh, where's the repeat? Yeah, the repeat is here. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, it's not cooperating with me. I went down too low. Here we go. Okay, this is our repeat. So it's going to be a 6, 12, it's an 18 row repeat. Okay? Math! Math is so fun. So what we're going to do is we've got that, and then after that, we get into a solid repeat. So now we have to build up the edges, remember? So what can I do here? I can add this one and this one, this one and this one. And then we can do here. See, and I don't know that I like that because, yeah, this isn't going to work because look, so our edging is knit 2, yarn over, and then directly into another yarn over. So the solution to that is either to eliminate this and we're not building up anymore, or convert this to a make one, but then we're doing make one directly into a yarn over. So I don't know if you want to do that. And the thing is if we convert this to a make one, then do you want to interrupt the yarn overs along your neckline? If you convert this to a make one, you have to convert all of them to a make one. So for now, I'm going to say I don't want the make. I want my eyelet edging on my neck, so those don't get to go there. So let's see here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Again, same problem. If I bring this over to here, the yarn overs are going to start interfering. So I don't want that, but I can do this. I can bring this all the way over here. And I think I can do this. So there we go. So I can move those. So we've started building up a little bit more. And let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what we're going to have to do is what we did on the first one and put, instead of a double decrease here, a single decrease. And then we're going to be having the same thing over here. Okay, see, we're building, and now we can definitely bring, actually, we can probably bring all of this over. Yep, not a problem. But 1, 2, 3, nope, we're going to get a yarn over right there, so we don't want to do that. Let's bring that over. That is fine, but we are not going to do this extra one over there because we can't do that. So we can do this and this. So now we have built up the entire repeat, and it will build up, and now we have an 18 row repeat. I can take this, say a copy and a paste, and now it's on both sides of the triangle. And that is what it's going to look like with, I'm pointing at my screen again, with this section being our 18, 6, 12, 18 row repeat. And again, if it had other motifs, you'd have to redo this again. Now, okay, how much, I don't know how long this has been going on. It's long. I hope y'all are having fun with this. Let's go to, this is your basic boomerang or asymmetrical triangle. As before, here is my motif shape. Let's see, where can I put it? No. There. That is where it fits the best. So we have all this buildup we'll have to figure out what to do with, or create partial motifs down in here. Let's go back and pick up our doop-a-doo stitches. There we go. And so this is knit on the bias. So technically we are increasing 1 stitch every 2 rows. But the way it's created is you are going to increase and decrease. You increase on one end and decrease on the other end of the right side row, and then increase on the wrong side row, and that is the functional increase. So we are increasing 1 stitch every 2 rows. So let's see what we can do. So that is not, so that didn't work. So nope, stop that. So let's continue to stack. Now, this looks like it worked, but if you see here, see we're snugged right up against it, so that is not the same. So we still have a partial here. Let's keep on stacking. There we go. It is fit across. Let me grab this guy and put him down here to make sure that we have the same amount. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. There we go. So our repeat on this one is another 18 row repeat. Let's go back to our stitches, grab them. See, but the thing is I can't copy and paste anything here because it's not until right here that I get a whole additional repeat. So we would have to go in here and carefully figure out how to build up. We're going to have to bring this over here. We're going to have to do this, but with this bit eating out of it, it just, with this, because it's on the bias, it's going to get more complicated. But you already saw how I did it on the crescent and the top-down triangle. And every time you change the shape, every time you change where your increased patterning is working, how it integrates with the stitch, and however many different stitch motifs are on your shawl, all of them are gonna have to be redone like this. So that is the answer to the question, how do I change this from a crescent to a triangle, or from an asymmetrical to a triangle, or a triangle to an asymmetrical? This is how you would do it. You would have to figure out your stitch repeat, you would have to figure out your row repeat, you would have to figure out your increased patterning on the 2 different shawls that you want to integrate it into, and then you just have to sit down and literally redesign the shawl. Can you do it? You might be able to. I've seen some beautiful redesigns of shawl. Someone took my In the Library with the Candlestick, which is a side-to-side asymmetrical, and turned it into a half circle with one of the motifs as a trim, and it worked beautifully. And you can do that. It's just, it involves a lot of meticulous figuring out of things, which can totally be done. But I would personally discourage you from buying a pattern, contacting a designer and saying, hey, I don't want to make this as a crescent. Can you tell me how to make it as a triangle? Because what you've done is ask that designer to completely redesign the shawl that they've created just for you. And it can be challenging, but it can also be fun. So I hope you enjoyed this little look into how I design, and hopefully it has answered questions about modifying existing patterns and pulling things out and doing fun stuff. Let me know if you like watching me do this kind of stuff on the screen capture like this, and maybe I can figure out some other fun things to do, because this really, sitting in front of the computer with this program open and copying and pasting and making more, so many So over here, you can see, you might not be able to see it. This is where there'll be new charts. So many of my pattern has new chart after new chart after new chart after new chart as I'm working through and coming up with a design. And sometimes I feel like I need to go back into those old files and find shawls that kind of got the heave-ho because they didn't quite achieve what I wanted, and see if there's some fun ideas in there. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, click that like button. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload a new video, please subscribe to my channel and select notifications. Thank you so much.